This is Chapter 10, Critical Thinking, Questions and Answers. Number 1 is consider what it means to be patriotic and loyal in terms of being a citizen of the United States, and how do concerns that Puerto Ricans have the island's future and Mexican concept of dual nationality affect those notions of patriotism and loyalty. I think that to be patriotic and loyal to the United States is to pretty much buy money or buy like stocks and buy from chain restaurants. I mean not restaurants, but like chain anything, chain grocery stores, chain restaurants, chain whatever. But that's a really bad thing because it's not advocating for the United States, it's advocating for like multiple countries, even though that is advocating for the United States, which is really weird because it doesn't make sense. But um in like political terms, it feels like a really weird answer because it's kind of obvious, but like to um, vote, to press political ideas, to protest, to advocate for whatever you want, to be free, whatever you think it means to be free, or like for white people to be free. But the concerns that Puerto Ricans have for their island's future is and the Mexican concept of dual nationality. Um, well, I mean, yeah, Puerto Ricans technically have like voting rights or whatever in the US, but there's that whole wet foot, dry foot thing that's really sketchy, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it's extremely unfair. But I think that I think that there is a big concern for Puerto Ricans having like their own self concept, like their self identity. I've talked to people who are Puerto Rican and they are really, I don't know, the people that live in America are worried about it a lot because they're not American. They're Puerto Rican. But when they come here, they kind of, I mean, how can you be patriotic and loyal to their own country if they're in America? But how can you have voting rights from Puerto Rico? I don't know. It's really confusing to me. I don't really understand the complete thing, but that's my view at it at this point in time. Second one is the phrase territory. Territorial minorities have been used to apply to subordinate groups that have special ties to their land, such as Native American tribes, and how would you apply this to Mexican Americans? I think that um, obviously Native Americans have special ties to their land because the land is like sacred. The land is the spirit, pretty much, and the same as in Mexican Americans, it land ties with family. Like they say, I belong to the land. When they say I belong, my people belong to the land. Like the land belongs to the people, and the people belong to the land. And I think that kind of is sort of the same, but not exactly. And for three, the family is often regarded by observers as a real strength in the Latino community. I was reading about familyism, or however you say it, and the problem is that, well, like in Latino communities, family is extremely important, but um, they're wondering if, I don't know how to say it. Like usually, like they stay together in family, but like more in America, people like go to school, get married, blah blah blah, and then they move away. That's not how like the Latinos do it, but as the Latinos come to America, they're doing that more, and they're worried. Well, like I don't know if they're worried. Like in my mind, I'm worried, but like they might not be worried. They are wondering if the Hispanics will do the same thing when they come to America, and wondering if like familism, familism, however you say it, will fade with the Latino community as they become more Americanized. And the last question, or the third question is, nope, the fourth question is, are Mexican Americans assimilated, and are recent Mexican immigrants likely to assimilate over time? I think that, like, they're not really completely American. Like, they try to be because they get in trouble, sort of, or pinpointed, but, like, when you see people working on farms, like strawberry fields, they're not really assimilated. Like, they're not being the American societal standard in what they do and how they act and blah blah. Like, everything about them like isn't the societal standard. But I think that Mexican immigrants are definitely vulnerable to assimilating over time, but they're not exactly assimilated right now.